to admit that some of these bands weren't even born when you got started.
Well, that's
you
right,
became very popular, and that was back when in 1972. Was that when the band really took off?
I would say that if, something like 30 to 40% of the people at most Jethro Tull concerts. Now, that might not apply to this tour because it's little theatres and it pulls some of the older fans out of the woodwork to come back and sit in a comfortable seat and see Jethro Tull close up. So, maybe a little distorted on these smaller dates, but on a typical concert, then I would say 30 to 40% of the people would be in that, 20 to 25 kind of age band. And so, I mean, they're not... If they were alive when we made our first album, then they certainly weren't buying records then. They're people who were just about being born when we started. And that makes up a big chunk of the people who come to the shows.
Do you enjoy touring in the U.S.?
Well, I enjoy playing concerts in the U.S. I enjoy playing concerts almost everywhere, but I don't really enjoy touring in the sense of a lot of the things that go with it, like all the promo, because I'm here to play concerts and I spend most of my day, I mean really most of every day, catching up with a bewildering array of phone calls, live radio performances, things I have to do that are to do with promoting the band and its record sales, and it makes for a very, very busy day.
Sure.
And no one ever stops to think that I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning in order to start a day's promo, for which I had to be bright and bushy-tailed, at 8:30 this morning, and I worked through till 12:30. Actually, no, it was close to 1 o'clock. It was 1 o'clock when I finished the morning stuff, and that was non-stop talking, for 3.5, 4.5 hours. Boom, 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 boom. And then I had to come and play a 2-hour show. I mean, my voice is never going to be in great shape on tour. But if I don't do the promo, people say, well, you're not working to help us sell your records, and you're not, playing the game with local radio and whatever. So it's not an easy job. I don't like that part of it. I don't mind coming and doing promo as a special thing. I don't mind coming... I quite enjoy coming to America and just doing... going to radio stations, strumming a guitar or talking to people. It's fine if that's all you have to do in the day. Yeah. And like you, I can go home at night and, put my feet up or watch television or go and have a nice meal somewhere.
That's not absolutely true.
Oh, come on, you have a great life.
Yeah,
you
right.
TV gals,
right,
you live this exotic lifestyle.
Your fans really appreciate it. And I know from talking to them, they say that you're a people person, that you're kind of a down-to-earth kind of guy. And they really like that about you.
Well, it would depend on who they are, because I'm...
Well, most of the fans that I've talked to here in the Northeast.
Well, when people are down to earth and straightforward with me, then it's very easy to reciprocate. But a lot of people come on all airs and graces and put on a kind of a phony presentation. Very often, not out of malice, but only because they feel that they have to show a side that they think will gain approval or win some sort of a response, and that's not the way. I mean, I do find some of the guys are difficult. They really get hot and clammy, and that's a bad sign when you get the hot, wet handshaking. And it invariably follows you get someone who's really tense and nervous, and that's difficult to be around. But the girls are a lot easier because they mostly have cool, dry hands, and that's always a good sign.
My hands are cool and dry.
Yeah, you're okay. You're not a nervous wreck.
No, I'm not a nervous wreck.
Give it another 5 minutes.
No, I'll be fine. When I was in Newport, Rhode Island, though, and they had that convention for you, it was the first ever Tull convention, there were so many fans there. Now, you weren't even there.
No, I wasn't even there. I'm sitting right.
You were on tape. I did hear the message. But all of these people just had a great time listening to Tull music all day long, and you weren't there. And you've got to give them credit for that.
Sure, I give them credit for that. And yes, I mean, I'm happy they have these days out and a good time. But I mean, they do it in England. They have these fan conventions every year, and in several countries they do. Even in Czechoslovakia, there's this sort of fan club meets all the time and has big days and things. And they all write to me. So, but the problem is, I get letters from so many different places saying, we're having our annual Jethro Tull fan convention. Can you come along? If we said yes to all of them, it'd be like doing a whole more tour. And also, it's not really if you go there, it's going to turn into one enormous autograph signing session. And that's not what they're there for. It would ruin their day if we turned up. I promise you and them, it would ruin their day. it's nice to be there, you know, make, say, a little message for them on tape or whatever, do that kind of thing, but to be there would turn it into a circus. It would be that presence that would just wreck their day. So I have, on one occasion, well, 1.5 occasions, turned up totally unannounced, even to the organisers, at a British fan convention, and just said, hi, great to see you, and, you know, quietly disappeared. And that's maybe what I might do sometime somewhere, but at the same time I wouldn't want people coming to a fan convention just because they thought, hey, maybe Jethro Tull are actually going to turn up here. We heard that he did that in England or something, you know. I can't do it every time, so we mustn't ever create that impression that fan conventions are a sort of intimate concert for a few special and specialized faithful. It can't be that. Although I have toyed with the idea of doing a sort of convention concert, in the sense that one might do perhaps for charity or something, do a fan convention concert. But as soon as you get to any meaningful number of people, like 1,000, I mean, if you fill this theatre, 2,500 people with the fans who might come here from all over the Northeast, come to a special thing, and we have a big supper, and we have a few things happening on stage, and we walk around and chat to people. Believe me, 2,500 people, we're only going to sign 1/10 of those autographs, and it'll still take 3 hours.
Right.
You know, so what I say about ruining people's day is not a joke. It just won't work. It can't work when you try and make yourself accessible on that level. And so all it then becomes is just a concert. But the whole point of meeting fans is to meet them when they don't expect it, to meet them in a busy street, to meet them in a crowded bar, to meet them in an airport somewhere, and find out that they're Jethro Tull fans. And then they meet you, and there's no pretension, there's no nerves. Then they say, oh, I met Ian Anderson, he was a really nice, down-to-earth guy. And of course I am. But not when we have these very organized confrontations. You know, hi, Mary Lou. You know, it doesn't work then. It gets crazy.